There is a big difference between Derek Lunsford's two front poses, and as far as the upper body and the torso are concerned, one of these poses is one of his strongest and the other one is arguably his weakest pose. The major difference is that in the front double biceps, where he looks strong, he hits an incredible vacuum, while in the front lat spread, his weaker pose, he has a relaxed stomach. So what if Derek Lunsford actually hit the vacuum in the front lat spread as well? If it would look anything close to what I got here in Photoshop, this would instantly become one of his best poses too. And I know what you're thinking, you can't hit the vacuum while in the front lat stance. Is that true though? Apparently this guy right here can do it, and it may be no coincidence that Chris Bumstead's front lat spread is considered one of the best of all time. Derek is not C-Bum indeed, but he too has a small waist and great lats, so why not try this? The same thing goes for Hadi Choopan as well. He's got an incredible vacuum in the front double biceps. In my opinion, at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, even surpassing that of Derek. And even though his front lat spread looks much better than Derek's, and the fact that he has his abs almost flexed here, boom, it would still be a huge improvement if he pulled the vacuum in the front lat spread as well. Why is nobody doing this already? If you're still not convinced it's possible to hit the vacuum in his pose, check out this guy. How come Lee Haney could do it almost 40 years ago looking so good, and nobody thinks to try this nowadays too? And since we're talking about Hadi here, I was thinking to bring back the perfect bodybuilder hybrid project on Supersetman soon, so I need your help for that. This is what I got really quick. I took Hadi's physique, which looked awesome in the front double biceps at this Olympia with this deep vacuum, and boom, I gave him Hunter Labrada's calves and arms. And yes, I used Hunter's better right arm for both arms for this hybrid. Can we get a better hybrid from the 2024 Mr. Olympia lineup? It doesn't have to be only two athletes, it can be a different one for every muscle group. All we need is 1000 likes for this video and you commenting down your suggestions for whose body parts our ultimate hybrid should have, and in the coming days I'll be back with the video. Deal or no deal, 1000 likes, and while you're there, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well so you won't miss this special video coming soon. Now let's get back, and since we had Derek and Hadi in the front lat spread, let's see our current Mr. Olympia with a vacuum in this pose as well. Boom! In my opinion, even though Samson Dauda doesn't have the best vacuum, he's the one needing this change the most, as his stomach was a little too relaxed in this pose at the Olympia if you ask me. But I won't be making this video only about the front lat spread. Let's check out Andrew Jacked with his side poses issue. Aside from the details he still needs downstairs, especially, that might be a little harder to achieve in a short amount of time. He could definitely try a better execution. Boom! What changed here is his stance. He needs to lean down more from his knees. And yes, that's Samson's lower body if you were wondering. That's definitely an improvement since Samson's side leg is more developed and detailed. Andrew looking anything near this would make him a powerhouse hard to stop, considering how strong his front poses already are. The side triceps would need even more improvement, but this one would require a separate different video altogether, so let's proceed to our next guy. We forgot about Martin Fitzwater, who, by the way, has been trying to pull back his stomach in the front lat spread, but he can do better than that. Based on what he achieves in the front double biceps, his front lat spread could look similar to this. Boom! Since this is actually his weakest pose, it wouldn't hurt to spice it a little bit with a deeper vacuum. In my opinion, it would do wonders. Let's change course again from the front lat spreads and show you guys what I would love to see from my favorite bodybuilder today when he comes back. Yes, I know, You guys think he's done, or you think his midsection is compromised, but let me hope, don't take that away from me yet. So this is Nick Walker at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, where he was at his all-time best, in my opinion, hitting the front double biceps with his abs crunched. A very impressive look if you ask me, but this is the trend nowadays and Nick needs to adapt. In 2022, he also hit this variation of the front double. It's more Ella J. Cutler, it's almost a semi-vacuum, and then he could try to hit a vacuum pose and shock everybody. Boom! How cool would this be? Imagine Nick Walker coming back with this 2022 Mr. Olympia shape and pulling a vacuum similar to this. I want to see you haters then. Compared to Hadi and Derek, he could be looking similar to this. Hadi and Derek still have better proportions, but the gap between them would certainly be much smaller. And since Nick kills them both with his guns, this pose could only go to the mutant if they looked similar next to each other to what we see here. Who do you think would win this pose if they looked like this? Now, of course, Hadi Labrada from earlier would beat Nick in this pose, which should remind you to forget the hate on Nick and give me your suggestions for our future 2024 Mr. Olympia hybrid. And while you're there, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already so we can make it official. And since we included Hunter Labrada in this video and since he too pulled a vacuum in the front double biceps at the Olympia, let's give him the vacuum in the front lat spread to further harden our argument about the vacuum pose in the front lat spread. This is the next step I want to see from these guys who did a great job in the front double biceps this year with their vacuums. 5 out of 6 guys in the top 6 at this year's Olympia Men's Open hit the vacuum pose on stage. This would have seemed impossible only 5 years ago. Once again, don't forget to give me your suggestions below about the 2024 Mr. Olympia perfect bodybuilding hybrid for each muscle group. Also, don't forget that unless this video gets 1000 likes, we're not gonna do that video. And of course, hit that subscribe button so my lost hours of editing this stuff for your asses wouldn't be for nothing. See you next time.